I'm Ashton Kutcher, and this is the Wired Autocomplete interview. I broke something. It's broken. Let's knock it out. Here we go. People don't like capitalizing my name. That's my first observation of this. My name, it should be capital A, capital K. I'm a little lazy with caps myself, so I can appreciate that. How did Ashton Kutcher get his start? I was in a bar in Iowa, and somebody asked me if I'd ever thought about being a model, and I said, no, I've thought about being an actor. Before that, I had acted in a bunch of junior high school and high school plays. I then won a trip and won a contest in New York City. While in New York, I started modeling, found an acting manager who I still have today. My first professional acting gig was an NYU student film, and then I did a Pizza Hut commercial. How old was Ashton Kutcher in that 70s show? The character Kelso was meant to be about 16 years old. I was 19 when I started playing Kelso. How did Ashton Kutcher? He did well. Feel about Friends with Benefits. I've never seen it, but I kind of know what it's about because supposedly it's exactly like No Strings Attached, and I did that movie. So I loved it. Plus it had Mila Kunis in it. Isn't she the best? How to contact Ashton Kutcher for investment. If you go to sound-ventures.com, there's an info email, or someone could text me. My number is pretty readily available. You can find it on Instagram or Twitter. Currently, I'm very proactively looking at generative AI companies. Second card is Ashton Kutcher. This is the most I've used my name in the third person of all time. Is Ashton Kutcher a genius? I don't know. I don't think I've ever taken an IQ test, to be completely honest with you. In fact, I know I've never taken an IQ test. I think I might have taken one when I was a kid. My mom always told me that my brother did better than I did in the IQ test, which always kind of peeved me a little bit. But I have seen things online that have claimed that I'm a genius and I have XYZ IQ. I don't know where they got that score because I've never taken the test. Is Ashton Kutcher a biochemical engineer? No, I'm not. I went to school for biochemical engineering, but I am far from being a biochemical engineer. Is Ashton Kutcher good at BJJ? BJJ stands for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Just full clarification. I think I'm okay. I think I could always be better. And I don't train enough, I think, to be like great. Is Ashton Kutcher an Eagle Scout? I am not an Eagle Scout. I am a Life Scout. I was very close to getting my Eagle, but I needed to do a service project. I think when I got my Life Scout, I was the youngest person in the country to be a Life Scout. So I had plenty of time to get my Eagle Scout, but then my mom moved and I didn't have a troop, and then I found high school, and then I found other things to involve myself in. So I did not get my Eagle Scout. Is Ashton Kutcher's phone number real? Yes. I have a real phone number. So I have two phone numbers. I have one phone number that my wife can get a hold of me in case anything going on. And then I have another phone number that is a phone number that I text with fans on. And that number is 319-519-0576. That's 319-519-0576. And I use this tool called Community to manage all the inbound messages. There's a lot. So it's kind of hard to respond to all of these texts, but I try to respond to as many as I can. And I reply daily to someone or a few people. Next up, when did Ashton Kutcher punked Mila Kunis? I think it was like season 6 of that 70s show when I punked Mila, but I don't recall exactly. But I know exactly where it was. It was outside of a restaurant called Bossa Nova on Sunset, right next to the Rock and Roll Ralph's. When did Ashton Kutcher join 2.5 Men? I don't remember the year. I think it was 12 years ago. So that would have been 2001, 23 minus 12, 2011. When did Ashton Kutcher invest in Uber? I would say our investment fund invested in Uber before Uber hit $1 billion valuation. It was right before they launched Uber X. I got 0 discounts or unlimited rides from the investment in Uber, and this is not a solicitation for Uber, and I'm not a registered investment advisor, so do not take this as investment advice. I'm no longer invested in Uber. When Ashton Kutcher entered the New York Marathon? Well, technically, I tried to enter the New York Marathon 2.5 years ago, and then COVID hit. Most recently, I ran it this last November. I ran under an alias, and then they reset it to my name after the race. They had 2 undercover police officers that were running with me during the marathon. I was like, I don't think I need security. They're like, no, you should just have these people here. But halfway through, they disappeared. I think that they had not prepared to run a marathon. Why Ashton Kutcher? Why did Ashton Kutcher change his name? Ashton Kutcher didn't change his name. Ashton is my middle name. My first name is Christopher. And when I moved to New York when I was 19 years old, the modeling agent that I was working with suggested that I go by the name Ashton because there was another Chris K at the modeling agency, Chris Kramer, who I'm still friends with to this day. Why is Ashton Kutcher on Shark Tank? I shot 1 day on Shark Tank. I think they shot 3 episodes. Mark Cuban asked me to come do Shark Tank because he knows that I'm an investor and that I've been investing for almost 2 decades now. I invested in slide handboards that came out of Shark Tank. There's a company called Poppy that is like a prebiotic soda that I drink quite frequently. My favorite is actually Doc Pop because it tastes like Dr. Pepper, but it's not bad for you in the way that Dr. Pepper might be. Why did Ashton Kutcher not go to space? Well, I had a ticket to space. I bought the ticket to space when I was single and did not have kids. And then when I was married and had kids, I revisited that idea. I decided to do what Adam Grant calls think again, given the fact that I'm responsible for more than just myself. At that point, it felt like it would be a more rational decision to not go to space. Doesn't mean I'm not going to go to space, it just means I haven't gone yet. Next up, did Ashton Kutcher play Steve Jobs? Yes, he did. The film is called Jobs, directed by Josh Stern. Does Ashton Kutcher own Bitcoin? Yes, Ashton Kutcher does own Bitcoin. As to whether or not I have any other crypto, yes, I have other crypto. Does Ashton Kutcher say hello Wisconsin? No, Ashton Kutcher does not say hello Wisconsin. Does Ashton Kutcher like country music? No, Ashton Kutcher loves country music. Top artists would include Kenny Chesney, Thomas Rhett. Maybe my all-time favorite is Garth Brooks, little known Garthy Garth. We actually share the same birthday, believe it or not. And I shared burgers with him 1 year because I was like, come on, man. We both came out of vaginas on February 7th. Isn't that crazy? Did Ashton Kutcher audition for The Office? No, I didn't audition for The Office. I think one of the characters in The Office had a line of some sort that said that he's like Ashton Kutcher, but more handsome. And BJ Novak, who I cast on Punk'd, was also on The Office. And also, BJ Novak and I worked together on Vengeance, the film that he wrote and directed. Does Ashton Kutcher bathe daily? I pretty much bathe daily. Not every day, but for the most part, yes. Where Ashton Kutcher? Dude, where's my car? I don't think that's a query. I think you're just looking for a movie. Movie where Ashton Kutcher is a Coast Guard. It's called The Guardian, starring Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher, so others may live. Where did Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis meet? We technically met for the very first time at the audition for That 70s Show. She was walking out of the audition as I was walking in. The fact that anybody would Google me anyway is flattering. That somebody's in the world has the time to think about me and then takes the time to go and try to find out more. Makes you feel loved and appreciated. So it's pretty cool.